guys, welcome to Tire Series 7, which is the DC Multiverse armored HB Batman suit, looking pretty cool. This is really neat. It's the Mcfarlane one, and really blessed to find this. I hadn't seen it in a lot of places, but I did find it at Walmart today, and this is retailing for $20, which is the standard price of all of the figures in the Multiverse, wave around $19.99. But one thing that's really good is I know like there's some stores that are selling this for a little bit more because it's more expensive, but Walmart is sticking to the retail price of $19.99. So if you're looking for this guy, but you don't want to pay more than what's suggested, I recommend getting it from Walmart. And yeah, we have DC Multiverse Batman there. We got a nice clear view at the top. I know a lot of people complain about the packaging, but I think it's pretty nice. I think it's sleek. I think it shows you what you're getting. And on the back here, we have this artwork, which is pretty cool. And we have the other characters in the wave. So yeah. And I would like to mention that I've also looked up with the cases. I've looked up the case on this guy, and he is a little bit harder to find just because he comes in a wave with like 2 of the anime Batmans and 2 of the 1000 Batman and only 1 of this guy. So if you're looking for him and you haven't found him, like me, that might be why. I don't know if the on-chain Superman armor is like that too, where it comes in a case as just 1, but I would assume it does, considering those 2 are kind of the hardest to find of the series so far. And here we have him out of package, and as you can see, he is just massive. I would say that a normal figure stands around 7 inches. I would say this one's probably about maybe 8 or 9 inches. It's just way bigger and just looks so cool in terms of proportions too. But you do get the card, which is pretty neat. It's got the artwork from the comic. It tells you the name there, and then on the back here, it tells you, you know, Bruce Wayne. Basically just gives you your history on it. It's got a pretty neat origin too. The suit was kind of forged by the members of the Justice League to help Batman with fighting enemies that are a little bit out of his league in a sense, and it does cause extreme damage to his metabolism, so he can't wear it a lot, which is probably an explanation, as you know, because otherwise there'd be no reason for him to wear another suit considering how cool this one is. And while he doesn't need it, you do get a display base as well. And just pretty much everything about this guy. I mean, the colors on him, like looking at for the camera and just looking at again in like person, it just looks so amazing. It's got this amazing black and red color scheme. I absolutely love it. It kind of reminds me of the 1966 Batmobile in a way, but it's got these 2 red lines that go down here. You have this red indent that goes into the mouth, and you can't really see it with how the heads turn, but it actually turns from black to gunmetal gray back here, and I think that's really cool. And also, he's got these shoulder pads which have these spikes on them, but they also kind of like turn into gunmetal gray, and it's more like noticeable on the arms here, where it becomes this gunmetal type gray. It's got the 3 bat wings, and it just looks good. It's painted so well, it actually kind of looks like metal in person. And he also has these spikes on the fists, which look pretty cool. Again, it looks more like metal than it does actual plastic, so I think that's really neat. He's got where his utility belt would be there. I don't really think that's a utility belt, but I really like how the lines are cut into the sculpt here, and I think the paint on them just looks perfect. Also, the bat symbol is a molded on emblem, and it looks really good. Like, it feels, again, kind of like how this looks like metal. This kind of looks like they molded a metal bat symbol on there, even though it's not. It definitely looks like that. And then he's got red lines that go down, and mixes in with the gray with the knees there. Then he's also got these really nice details on his toes there, which are pretty neat. And let's see if I can turn him around a little bit. You can see back here it's folded into like a bat, but his wings do actually expand, which I'll show in a second. But I do really like back down here, you can see the thrusters where it allows him to fly. I think that's pretty neat that they put that detail on there. And you can also see with the red lines how it kind of goes across the back there. And yeah, pretty neat. And to show off the wingspan here, hoping I can show it off. Basically, you just take the wings back and you fold them like so, and boom, you have the wings. And I mean, the wingspan on these, it's definitely long. Like, I don't know an estimate. As you can see, it goes back pretty far, and the wings do articulate, like I said. They kind of fold out there, which is their main articulation, but you can rotate them side to side as well. But he looks so massive. I mean, with the wings out and everything, like, I'm gonna be honest, this is the best armored Batman figure I have ever seen in my life. Like, just the details on him, the articulation, which I'll go through in a second, and even though he doesn't come with accessories aside from his wings, I mean, he just looks amazing. And you know, this is one of the things that that Mcfarlane talked about. If you've watched any of his reviews on taking over Multiverse, he's talked about making the articulation better, but he's talked about like not really like point aside the articulation for a second. He's talked about like making figures that look really good, but when you articulate them, they still look really good. And you can really see where he's kind of got that right with this particular figure. It's a very obscure figure like he's talked about doing, but it's a really cool figure, and it's one that's never been done before. It's one that probably never will be done before or after this. So it's really cool how I think he's doing this and how he's kind of trying to do stuff that hasn't been done a million times. Like, I mean, Mattel is cool, and they did give us a lot of good things, but they, you know, there was a time where they were just kind of reprinting and reprinting and reprinting. But with Mcfarlane, all we've really seen with them so far is different stuff, and I really like that. Now for the articulation, because like I mentioned, there is a lot here. If I can get this thing to hold real quick. So you got a 360 at the head, you can look up and down. The shoulder pads are really cool because they rotate, but they also move up. So you can move these completely out of the way and it doesn't hinder your articulation. You got a 360 there, they swing out, they're on the butterfly joints. But because of how the shoulder pads move, you really don't have to worry about it hindering. And you have 360 there, single joint elbow, had to close up the wings, otherwise it keep hitting Superman. You have 360 at the hinges and they rotate. So the waist has that joint that's a little weird, to be honest, but it does move. The legs come forwards, backwards, and outwards, and you have a 360 there. You have a double jointed knees, which, I mean, you know, on the size of this, that's not bad, but it does come back pretty far. I think that's pretty cool. And the feet move and rotate and peg, and they actually did give this guy toe articulation. Like, this surprised me. I was not expecting him to have toe articulation considering his size, although I believe every other character in the series does. I think that's pretty cool. So overall, Superman of this series, the 1000 Superman, was my favorite character, but I honestly think this is probably my favorite figure from this wave, just considering how cool he is and how big. It's just a really nice Batman to have on the shelf, and really quickly I want to do some comparisons. Here's a comparison with the Gotham by Gaslight Batman, which is one of the last ones that Mattel did. It's also probably my favorite Mattel Batman. I just really like it. And then here's a comparison with a standard Mcfarlane Batman, and as you can see, this guy is just huge in terms of proportions and height compared to him, and it's really amazing that they were able to put this in the box as the little figures. I think that's pretty cool. And lastly too, here's a comparison with the Batman Who Laughs, and again, you can really see the height difference, the overall bulk of it. It's just a really nice Batman. Like I said, I definitely recommend it. It's probably, in my opinion, the best armored Batman that's ever been made. Does it really look like Batman? No, but just the articulation on it, the detail, like, you know, I mean, this is it. This is the best, in my opinion, figure that Mcfarlane has done, and it's my personal favorite, and I think it looks incredible. I definitely recommend it. Thank you for watching. Please rate, like, and subscribe.